And welcome back to the Irish Hotspur here, and we are going to be talking about the Yanks versus the Dutch, not the Senegalese. Unfortunately, the Americans will not be playing the Senegalese. They actually, funny enough, have a better chance actually against the Dutch than they would Senegal today. And apologies for that. You can give Jack already a yellow card. I do already like to play things, kind of testy. I kind of enjoy starting things a bit kind of crazy, and I'm already off to a yellow card, and it's not even a whistle blown yet. Dave, we are coming up against the Dutch here. The Americans, like I said to you plenty of times in the past, bit of a funny relationship with them. I'm really, really proud of these boys. I really do kind of root for these guys, but at the same time, I always find that maybe our bit of our fandom gets a bit over the top, maybe as Americans, and maybe we put a bit too much on these guys. But I think we've actually gotten to where we wanted to go. We've gotten to the knockout rounds. It's almost a bit of a free hit, if you will, against the Dutch, maybe a bit of an easier free hit than some of the other teams like the Spanish or the Croatians or teams like that. I don't know, but Dave, what do you give our chances today? How are you doing? And I'm actually looking forward to this watch along because this one is where it really gets heated up. These are when things all matter. It's the knockout rounds.
No, I'm good, Jacko. I'm good. I'm excited to watch this game. I've actually been impressed with the USA so far, if I'm being brutally honest. I think they've gave a good account of themselves. I thought the way they stifled Wales in the first game. I'll be honest, I thought they probably deserved to come out with more of that, more from that game. I thought the way they played against England. I know Gareth Southgate likes to think that England were in control, but I don't think so. I think they showed England up as well. So for me, I think you have done a very good job, Jack. And I'm actually rooting for you today. I think when it comes to the Dutch, I'll be honest, I've been a bit underwhelmed by them. I think for some of the players they have, I think they should be doing a little bit better.
Yeah.
But today's game for me, Jack, will come down to, I think it'll either come down to USA with them using their energy, their legs, their high press, and everything else to just basically tire the Dutch out, force them into mistakes, not give them any time on the ball, and nick a goal. Because I do think going forward is maybe where you let yourselves down at times. I'm not sure there's enough quality chances being created going forward. It's a bit erratic at times. But from defensive midfield up, from defensive midfield, you're absolutely solid. So if you can work on that, your forward play a little bit, I think this would be a really, really hard team to beat. But also the Dutch, they could just use their experience, Jack. They do have Cody Gakpo, who's on fire. Depay can nick a goal, and it might even become a case where USA actually outplay the Dutch, but they just managed to create a little bit more with what they have. It's going to be a very fascinating game, but I'm all for the upset today. I'd love to see America beat Holland today. I really would.
Nice to hear of you, Dave. Nice to hear of you. People are saying, good to see Al C. Good to see Welsh Gal Scott Hynam, Daryl Denton, George Hill, Shamu is in the house as well, and Mia cheering on the Netherlands. Big up, Mia. Let's take a look at this Dutch lineup, Dave. We are looking at that. It's a pretty funny name. I don't even know how to say it, but I'm just going to go for it. Noppert is funny. I think it's that tree of a goalkeeper they have. Jurien Timber is the right-sided center back. They're going with the back three here, 3-4-1-2. Van Dijk in the middle with Ake as the left-side center back. Pretty solid, I would argue. Dumfries as the right wing back. Martin de Roon as the center mid alongside Frankie de Jong with Daley Blint as the other left wing back. So pretty defensive, if you ask me, kind of in that midfield with Davy Klaassen, who the guy of the cheers room think is absolutely garbage, which is maybe a good sign for the Americans. I think they could have played someone else there, and we would probably be facing some trouble. So we are coming up against Klaassen, against Cody Gakpo, and Depay up top. I feel like with Depay and Gakpo, that is going to be trouble for us, though. Those two are quite clever. They are very good. And Gakpo, Dave, I've ranted about this guy a few times. I was suggesting him nearly like 2 years ago when I was first even on this channel. So to see him kind of get his attention, I think is long deserved, if you will, for me.
I think with Davy Klaassen playing up front, I wonder if they're going to bypass your midfield and look to clip it into him every time because he's a big, strong boy. He's not going to offer anything.
I think he's a center mid. I think he's
Louis Van Gaal looked at your midfield and said, "Oh, don't fancy trying to play through that with the energy and the legs there. I'm going to clip it over the top or play around it." Be interesting.
Davy Klaassen, I think he's that bald sort of kind of journeyman center mid for them. That sort of it makes those nice, almost Dele Alli runs, you could say,
Mm,
if you were being kind to him, kind of in behind. So you might be right about that, right? He'll be that sort of center mid, maybe higher kind of midfielder that will
mhm.
make those just runs in behind. Maybe forget about some of the intricacies of kind of connecting the play. You're absolutely right. This player I absolutely love this season, not only just for the U.S. men's team, Dave, but just for Fulham. I think Tim Ream, I think, has been one of the best
Oh, he's been
sort
excellent.
of just passing center backs. And maybe the reason I've just liked him so much this season, Dave, is because that's the thing we've struggled with so much this season is having passing center backs. And Tim
Mm,
Ream has certainly just been unbelievable for me. Like he really has. He's just only oozed
mm.
class in games and a lot of times on the ball. He really has. Like he gets out of tight areas. He knows how to ping it as well in case he gets in trouble. I think he's brilliant.
I think it was Guardiola that said about him, wasn't it? If he was older, if he was younger, he'd be playing under him. I think he's had an excellent World Cup. Do you know what I was, Jack? Do you know who I don't like is Serginho Dest. I think he wastes an awful lot of ball when he gets into the forward areas.
Interesting that you say that. I think Dest with him is that I think he's quite good on the ball. He knows how to get forward. I just don't rate him defensively. Is kind of my issue. I just don't find him to be, uh, let's say, how would I put it, Dave? Like I just don't think he's. I think he's easily you can take advantage of him defensively. In my opinion, I think
Mm.
you can definitely take advantage of him. But whereas like going forward, I think he's quite good.
I just a lot of crosses he's put in. I've been underwhelmed with him, to be honest with you. I just think he wastes an awful lot of ball. I thought, against England and Wales, I thought he was poor in the forward areas on the ball. If I'm being honest.
Tim Ream here to Dest gets
How's
out
the
of
player?
trouble there with maybe a poor first touch.
We Musa.
Oh, this guy I actually might if we were to what do you think of Musa, Dave? Because I really like
Ex-England
Weston McKennie.
underage, Jacko.
I really like Weston McKennie, but I feel like Musa is actually the one I'd really go for if we were to go after an American midfielder of this team.
Do you know what, Jack? I think Musa's had a good campaign, to be honest with you. I love his energy. I think he's actually decent on the ball as well. Oh, America are in here. Oh,
Oh!
it's a huge chance missing. That flag stayed down and everything. Oh, wow, that was a huge chance. What a save. What a save. Yeah, but Musa, Jack, he used to play for the England underage setup. How'd you nick him?
I'm not sure. I think he was born in New York, Dave.
Yeah,
I
I don't
think he
know.
has
Scouts
I
didn't
think
even
yeah, he
he
was born in New York and might have been there I think as a child or something like that. I'm not sure how long he was in the States, but born in New York City if I'm not mistaken. So there it is, Dave. You can't get more American birth than that.
how did he end up in the England underage? I'm gonna research that.
But he plays over at Valencia, Dave. And in fact, I think it was over in the summer. Matty Hayes said, like, if you were to take 5 players from, the Europe's top 5 leagues, right now, who'd you take? And Yunus Musa actually said, like, six
Yeah.
months ago was the one I would take, just because I think he is an absolute baller, and he can play really anywhere too. He's going for a piggyback ride. But Dermot here with the super chat. USA, USA, best of luck. You can do it, USA. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Dermot. Dermot, let me know which of these Americans, which of these Yanks would you take? Is it a Weston McKennie? Is it Yunus Musa? Perhaps a Tyler Adams, as good as Tyler Adams is too. Maybe we have too many of those types of players, but it is where maybe our strength lies is in that midfield. Big up, my man. Oh, but Christian getting through here.
So
Oh,
he was a part of the Arsenal underage setup when he moved to London at the age of 9. Um, so he was. Interesting, Jack. He was born in the USA while his parents were on holidays.
good for him. Nice little New York City birth, Dave. They did all the sightseeing. Wolves Finland, let's hope the flag is still there after the game. I think in reference, Dave, to our national anthem at the end. It's kind of the ending of it. It's, saying we flag is still there. And hopefully the Qataris don't take it away from us, maybe, in case we win it after this game, too. But pick up
Yeah,
Wolves
he
Finland.
played for
Appreciate
England
it.
under 15s, under 16s, under 17s, 18s, 19s as well.
Ian Ferguson, come on, you Yanks. Big up, Ian. Got Lazy 8 in the house. Morning, lads. I'm still not convinced. I'm pretty sure that one of these jokers will try to spike the ball in the end zone after a goal. They're just holding it back. They're just holding it back to set up for a kickoff formation. Set up for what is it? What is it? They keep thinking that they have to punt it away. Lazy 8. They're gonna have to set up in a punt formation at some stage. Oh. Frank Glass,
I've
big
been
up,
really
my man.
impressed with Adams, the Tyler Adams, the Leeds player, Jack.
Oh,
This competition, I thought he's been outstanding, and Robinson here at left back for you as well.
He's also, I believe, our captain as well, Tyler Adams, at such a young age, because he's kind of, I must be honest, Dave, he's a bit parched. He's a bit of a he's kind of our Højbjerg, if anything. Tyler Adams, I would say, he's a bit of our he plays more like an N'Golo Kante, with his range of movement and his ability just to be everywhere, right, and just get stuck in and always put his nose in everything. That's what's so brilliant, I think, about him, is that he always puts his foot in everything, but he is a bit of that Højbjerg when it comes to, I think, like the way his mentality is and everything, and the way that he sort of carries himself, and you know, he's just, you know, nothing but brilliant words for Tyler Adams. Could never say anything bad about the kid.
I like Robinson at left back as well for you, Jack. I think he's had a very
Another
good
New Yorker as well, Dave. Actually, Tyler Adams.
Is he?
Yeah, he was born in kind of, I think, upstate New York, but ended up playing, I think, for New York City Red Bulls. Nice little pass from Christian here. Ooh, Denzel Dumfries getting stuck in there.
If Robinson got a touch on that, that was a penalty.
Big up Steve D. He said, "Hi lads, I lived in Holland for 6 years as a kid. Always been my second team. We'll find out today how poor or how good the England performance was against USA. You certainly will." Steve D. He says, "Sorry, Jack. Don't you worry, Steve. I think there are 300 million of us, you know, in support. There probably should be more on the Holland side just to even things out when it comes to the support."
If you want me to be brutally honest, Steve, there's no excuses for England's performance against the USA or Wales, if I'm being brutally honest. I don't even think the Wales performance was good. I think for 45 minutes, England were absolutely dog crap. No excuse for it. Like Phil Foden, that guy, if he was French, Spanish, Brazilian, he'd be in their team. How's he not starting games for England? How's Sterling starting ahead of him? He effectively got rid of Sterling at Man City. Look, Southgate has to go. You should be playing a better brand of football with the players you have, for sure. And he's picking all the wrong players as well. How Mason Mount starts, I do not know. England has slapped Iran, and then they've just underwhelmed since then, in my opinion.
I think also Iran, like when you look at the context of what the players were going in. Oh, Christian's in here.
Is there anyone getting in?
Oh, top of the box to Ferreira.
That was shocking. Well swept up. Who was that? Robert Adams.
Okay, this is disappointing, I must say. I had a bit of a rant on the cheese room about this, Dave, but the fact that we're playing Tim Ream and Zimmerman at the same time, two blonde, man bun white guys, it's very American of us, but also I just don't like it. I think it's too confusing. I think it's almost not worth watching at this stage, because it just gets way too
decent as well, though, to be fair.
Zimmerman, you think? I think he's given away that penalty, and Tim Ream gives away a pass here. He tried to be a bit progressive, giving away to Depay. Depay in the box. Ooh, shakes past Weston. But we could break here.
What control?
That was a good chance to break, but someone poked it away. But it's so annoying, Dave, to see just two man bun of center backs. But I don't know, maybe just for this game, we're just going to have to sacrifice the confusion and go for the win here. But it's been very frustrating for me. It's hard to watch. It's like I said, it's like a microbrewery of a defense, Dave.
At least you're at the World Cup, Jack. Take solace in that, my man.
It's like a Colorado microbrewery, Dave, of center backs.
It's boring when you're not at the World Cup, Jack.
Dave would take 7 man buns. He would take 2019 leads. He would take 2019 leads.
I would at this stage. I just want to get back to a major competition. USA, I've started.
We're all over him at the moment. Our midfield is so good, Dave. I think that's why.
It's ridiculous. Do you know what it is, Jack? It's full of energy, but they're all good on the ball as well.
Denzel Dumfries. Goodbye.
Depay.
Just as well, Dave. Just as.
I wouldn't
Oh,
mind. I thought USA
oh,
is
against
starting
the
off
run
the
of
better team
play.
as well.
Against the run of play, I thought too, Dave. Very
It is
much so.
against the run of
Denzel
play.
Dumfries with the ball in. Denzel Dumfries with that beautiful pass into Depay.
It's just that the Dutch have that bit of extra quality going forward.
I think playing Depay too is Depay and Gakpo is really, I think, the combination you need there. There's Gakpo holding it up, gives it up to Dumfries, first
That's a
time
good
ball in.
pullback.
It's a
That's a very
great
good
pull.
pullback.
This is the thing with Dumfries. People don't rate him, but sometimes I see him play well. He's confusing, Dave. He's so confusing of a player. I think he can be a donkey, and then he can do something like that.
Good finish by Memphis as well. He could have easily got underneath that
Oh,
and
it's a
sent it over
quality
the bar.
finish. I mean, that's who you want to have that as well. It's a quality
Not in the
finish.
keeper. Not in the keeper could have done. It's into the bottom corner. Hit with pace and power as well. Oh, that's disappointing. But look, you pick yourselves up. Let's go again.
Yeah, we need Tyler to motivate the boys here. The Yanks are down. THFC till I die. Our thoughts and prayers are with Pele, the greatest player the world has ever seen, the only player to win the World Cup 3 times. Has Pele passed
Yeah,
away?
he's been diagnosed with something again recently. I can't remember what it is now, but I was only reading it there yesterday. It shows how bad my brain is, to be honest.
If that's the case, Dermot, yeah, absolutely thoughts and prayers with him. But I answered yesterday in the context of football, though. I think Dave put it up right with 88 Sport asking who the best player in World Cup history is, and it was like, as much as I'm not the biggest Pele fan of any kind, I was like, you just got to say Pele. Like, the guy has won more World Cups than anyone, if I'm not mistaken, or at least had more of an impact for Brazilian World Cups than really anybody. And also, when you kind of look at the day and age that he played, it was kind of the time where like club football wasn't exactly worldwide, where everybody knew about each other, across the world and stuff. The World Cup was kind of the days when people sort of did show up on the world, kind of scene and everything. It was your kind of opportunity to really get noticed, more so than now, definitely much more so than now. And so I think Pele, to a degree, every single time there was a World Cup, the guy, did not fail to disappoint. And so there's, I think, that to be said if you were to look at World Cups alone.
I prefer Maradona myself over Pele. I just loved Maradona. I think, look,
I prefer Maradona because I think the story of Maradona I find to be, also as well.
Just imagine if that guy didn't drink or take drugs.
No. Well, not even. I think he's also more of a, he played more recently to a degree, played during an era that more people can recall as well.
Like, Pele was good. Pele was a great goal scorer. But Maradona he had it all. That guy could pick the ball up at halfway line, skin 4 players, take them out of the game and put it into the top corner.
Oh, Christian!
Oh, bad first touch. If he got that
Someone
out,
get
buddy,
there.
he could have opened himself up for a shot.
Poor pass. Serginho Dest gets muscled by Frankie. Oh, and they're in behind here. It's Cody Gakpo.
Oh. Back to Depay. Depay looking for the run of Davy Klaassen. Doesn't come.
Oh, beautiful switch.
Sends it out wide to Blind.
He hasn't even played very much this tournament, Depay. Maybe it's just been kind of keeping him on ice.
He was injured, wasn't he, coming into the tournament?
I mean, he hasn't even played much football even at all this season, too. So, Van Dijk here.
Best smelling man in football.
Also competing with the man buns of the Americans. Appreciate your support, Dermot, and completely agree, my man. And for me, as much as, like I said, I'm more of a Maradona person myself, but I have to respect as always, a man of stats, Dave. I have to respect the stats and have to look at Pele. You just have to. And that's how I see it, Dermot. Pick up, my man. I think Pele just has to be, still to this day, the best of all time. I'm just jealous of the man bun Mia. I used to have a man bun Mia, so maybe that's what it is. Perhaps I'm just, thinking of the days when I could just easily just roll it up like them, and I would have been a blonde male, man bun center back like them. I could have been a Tim Ream. I really did. So maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. It is just jealousy in behind it all. Big up Mia.
Big up Mia. Wolves is asking why we're so far behind. Wolves, we're not watching it online. We're actually watching it on TV. It's just like, look, even with RTE, I mean, like, we're behind as well. I don't know. It's whatever way it's broadcasted across these channels, my man. I don't think we're that far behind, though, to be honest, lad. I don't think we're that
I
far
don't
behind.
even think it was our fault. I think too, like I saw like Fox, like their what is it? Their thing like what is it? It repeated itself at one stage. Like it repeated like
Yeah.
a passage of play, and I didn't see anything glitch or anything. And so I think it's just sometimes the Qataris, maybe Dave didn't pay the Wi-Fi bill maybe for the stadium or something like that.
So, Jack, like, I could be watching something on RTE. Philip and Dermot could be watching something on RTE, and we'd be all watching at different times. Same channel.
Serginho
Jorginho
Dest.
Dest. I'd love you to get the equalizer and make a good game of this.
I think that came against the run of play, but this is what happens against the Dutch.
Do you know what? It's just they just have a bit more composure going forward than the USA. USA get themselves into good positions. It's just that final ball. Zimmerman. My sister had hair like that when she was 12. Into Ream. Oh, great play by Robinson.
I like Robinson too. He's had a great
Yeah, he's been
tournament.
good. Play somebody.
Oh, cuts inside on
Again,
the
it's
right.
tight.
Maybe just keep it on your left, Bravo. I would say.
Oh, he's had a very good campaign. I've really enjoyed watching him.
Depay and
Shame we just don't
Gakpo.
need left back anymore, left wing back.
D-
Well, could be a potential replacement
I
for
really
Perisic
like
in the
Anthony
future.
Robinson. I think he's been even again, Dave. I think when we did a watch along, like one of the first ever watch alongs we did was against Fulham, and I've always said I really liked Anthony Robinson. I think he's just a good, solid Premier League left back. The way that he plays, tall, strong, just runs down the wing, good defensively, can get out of tight areas. You know, I think he just has all the fundamentals down.
Yeah, no, I like him.
Yunus Musa, maybe not a great touch there. Gives it to Gakpo. Gakpo finds Daily Blind, and it's not even a souvenir. Too selfish to even give a souvenir to the fans there.
He doesn't get up there often. He's got a nosebleed.
I feel like what's hurting us right now is it's not even this Dutch midfield, Dave, that's killing us. It's that they transition and they get it into Gakpo and Depay, who are just killing us because they hold it up well, they turn well, they're just good on the ball. We know those two players, and each time they get it, they're holding it up really well that they either draw a foul or they bring others into play. Or they end up knowing that there's no one behind them, and then they turn really quickly, and they have a bit of pace and strength about them too when they're carrying the ball. It's those two are hurting us, I think, Gakpo and Depay right now. Dest kind of dribbles into a corner there. Steve D. Maradona played better on the drugs. Can't even speak for it. I think only Maradona can answer that. But
look, you know that celebration. What was it? Mexico '94 was it? Unbelievable. I think they were playing. Were they playing Greece? I think he was clearly on cocaine on the celebration. But yeah, look, he was an unbelievable footballer. You know, he's got stuff that nowadays you don't have. Someone that can beat players, that has strength, that had ability, had a bit of pace. You know, nowadays, yeah, they're big, strong guys, but they just don't have the ability that someone like Maradona had. You know, the dribbling skills, taking players out of the game rather than have to pass it around them. You know, unbelievable. He was absolutely unbelievable. Best goal of them all, hand of God. Brilliant.
Yunus Musa, big up Steve D. Appreciate it, my man. And think Dave answered it for you there, but I'd like to say that only Maradona can answer that for him.
I'd say it definitely opened up his mind anyway, yeah. Stevie D. It definitely opened up his mind.
Opened up his bloodstream. Big up Steve. The Oranja. I need to go back to Amsterdam, Dave. I didn't really enjoy it too much. The one time I went there.
Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta go back. Maybe take a side trip after the AC Milan game.
It's a lot smaller of a city than I expected.
So I would.
Back to Coppert or Noppert. Oh, good hit. Good header by Zimmerman. Ferreira to Sir.
What's that for?
Offsides, maybe?
He's another one that likes the cameras, isn't he? Look at them arms. Very straight. It's like
Yeah,
he's
I
guiding in
know.
a plane.
Like, you would think that one of those arms would pull muscle with how straight they are.
It's like he's guiding in a plane. Ridiculous. You see a plane come down onto the pitch in a minute. Sorry, I thought you were calling us. It's a long ball over the top. Oh, the pie's in. Who was that? Rim.
Ooh.
Oh.
Nice little
Poor
first
effort.
timer from Depay.
Probably could have held it up and got it in there.
I mean, the airport I was leaving from, Dave, to get back home, I mean, could have used the referee then if his arms are that straight, motioning in the planes. It's delayed like 6 hours. They needed somebody with that organization.
Honestly, the way he was moving his arms and had the whistle in his mouth, I thought he was going to break into dance like White Chicks. Did you ever see White Chicks, Jack? Terry Crews in it doing that on the dance floor.
I just thought of like a band conductor, like in full uniform. Dest. Dest carrying it inside. This is what he's good at. There you are. To Tyler Adams. Finds Christian. Christian gets absolutely stuffed. Denzel Dumfries.
But anyway, Dumfries in behind.
Zimmerman. See, that's like the whole time I'm thinking it's Tim Ream.
He looks like he's been playing for the women's team, Zimmerman, with that head, with that hair.
Here we are, Serginho Dest. I think Luke Ayling would be very jealous of Zimmerman.
Yeah, they're just lacking that final ball in the final third, Jack. It's that last ball that's killing you.
I think
I just
Christian
have no problem getting it up there. No problem whatsoever.
I think if we had a bit of a better right winger at the moment to go with, it's tough because Gio and Gio Reyna and Aronson do like to play more centrally. So it is hard because we have such a good plethora there, but we need maybe better wingers. We could try to put Musa at right wing, Yunus Musa, but
that's poor by Musa. I was going to say,
thank you, sir. Zimmerman. Deep in their half here, though. But like I said, it feels like the Dutch, all they're going to do is just wait for us to lose it again, and they'll just transition it quickly into Depay and Gakpo, and it's worked for them. But Weah out wide to McKennie here.
Go on, McKennie, put in a good ball.
Win this. Depay. Klaassen gets out.
Hey. Adams.
Christian here. Serginho. Weston.
She's not like you can just throw balls into the box either. Not with Virgil van Dijk
number 9. Yeah, and because there's a Van Dijk there.
Yeah.
They have good solid center backs back there. They really do.
Your striker's not the biggest either.
No, we don't. Yeah, we have more kind of in behind, strikers that would like to see green grass in behind, but the Dutch are clever by, like I said, they're sitting back and just waiting to get it into Depay and Gakpo, and they can either transition quickly or they can hold it up because they've been great at holding it up as well each time. I haven't seen Gakpo or Depay give it away once. I haven't seen them.
Klaassen.
that HG from the cheese room basically just roasted Klaassen for a good minute and a half. It really was brilliant. He thinks he's absolutely dreadful.
Jack Welshgal says you need to go to Bruges if you were in Amsterdam.
Probably right, Welsh Gal. I just think I need to give it a second time. Can't, judge a city like that has such great reviews, on one visit. Need to do it a second time, I think. But
Mm,
I think it was one of the things that just sort of really ruined it for me, Welsh Gal. I just thought their transportation system was also just really strange, like even creepy at a certain rate.
mm.
Just didn't like that like conductor guy that sits at like some fake like business desk like in the middle of the tram. I thought that was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen. Steve D. Maradona won World Cup and league with Napoli on his own. Like I said, I'm more of a Maradona man myself, Steve D.
That's why he's a
But
king in Napoli, an absolute king.
given away by Frankie De Jong. Steve D. I'm more of a Maradona man myself, but when I go by the stats and when I kind of go by sort of just World Cups alone, just look at that. It's Pele. It's Pele.
And then Dermo also says that second goal against England in '86 was the greatest goal ever scored. 100%, absolutely unbelievable. Dermo, what was he? Skinned like 5 or 6 players. It's absolutely unbelievable. Just danced through them. Just literally got on the ball, turned at pace, gone. No one could even get near him. He was unbelievable. Just holding people off and everything. He was an animal.
I feel like Jamal Musiala will do that in the next tournament and then actually finish it.
Yeah, that guy could be the fucking top goal scorer of the World Cup by now.
Anthony Robinson, bit of trouble here. Let's see if we can play out of it. Oh,
Jesus Christ, Turner.
He's like teeing it up for a golf shot, basically. With the
I don't know what he was doing there.
He really flicked it out to dangle it to tempt them. Really, that was brilliant. Timothy Weah.
He hasn't looked to get in behind his man once this half yet.
Oh, find him. Oh, good try. Serginho getting muscled.
Doesn't Weah not usually play down the middle for you?
No, he plays on the right. He's played down the right this whole tournament. We've played either Josh Sargent.
That guy, he's useless.
No, he is useless. Haji right, or I guess now Ferreira, I believe, through the middle.
Depay on the break though. They got numbers here. Cuts inside. Glory. He went for the glory. Yeah, Dumfries running into the back post. Oh, he still got it. It's a corner kick
from Tim Ream, I believe.
Played by Memphis. Chris Agenbar, good to see you, my man. I hope you're keeping well. Who's F1
Chris.
says 90 in tears and of course 94 on cocaine. Yeah. He also says Maradona left every single World Cup like biggest rock star, which he is. Football world, even that which he just missed out 17 years ago. Absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. But you know what, man? Like you're talking about World Cups gone by where people like players are coming out superstars, rock stars. Name me one player this World Cup that's put his head above everybody else. That's just done unbelievable things. Hasn't happened.
Mbappe had a pretty crazy start. I think Mbappe's had a pretty crazy start, I think, and Gakpo's also played quite well.
Yeah, but Gakpo's goals have come from running in behind, and so is so is Kylian Mbappe. But like, I'm talking about someone that's like got on the ball, like
I know what
players,
you mean.
over the top balls, skinning players, putting the ball in the top corner. You know what I mean? Like,
I know
what I mean is there's no one that has really set themselves up ahead of anybody else that you look at and say, "Fuck me, he's a difference maker. He's world class. Like he's head and shoulders above everybody else." I think it's been a poor World Cup in terms of that regard, and that's why you're seeing some of the upsets because there's nobody that's really setting themselves up above everybody else. Everything's been too safe. That's why the upsets are coming. Them teams when all you're doing is passing it around left to right. That's what they want you to do. What they don't want you to do is take them on, beat them, play balls in behind, and that's why you're seeing some upsets because the bigger teams they just don't have them players anymore.
Yeah. Noppert. Ooh, they get out of trouble there.
He runs like an idiot, Davy Klaassen.
Oh, poor pass. Dumfries. Oh, he went for that same ball. Oh, stays in. Oh, bad giveaway by Tyler. Anthony
Well done. It was
Robinson.
that Robinson.
Nice touch from Ferrer.
That's
Sir!
great.
Thank you, sir.
20 minutes later.
James Rodriguez.
We have Portal Dream says no James Rodriguez in this World Cup so far.
James Rodriguez is, I would say, not exactly the bill what Dave was saying, but very, very close. You could argue very, very close. He did sort of kind of just carry Colombia in that.
Yeah, he carried them. He did carry them. He scored a few good goals along the way and stuff
and
like
he got
that.
a boot, and he finished with a World Cup boot. He finished with 6. Finished with 6. Beat Thomas Muller, which, put me in tears.
I don't know. I just think the Ballon d'Or in years to come, it's going to be non-existent, really. I don't think there'll be any worthy candidates.
Yeah. Dumfries into Klassen. Yeah, we'll see if the U.S. can get another good spell here, but starting to sort of maybe run out of ideas, I think, against that Dutch defense, because I think that Dutch defense is doing a very good job about getting back as well when we are trying to go quickly.
It's been your final ball all competition, though. Like, sometimes you do some great... Like, sometimes I'm sitting there, I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's unbelievable. Moving out from the back into the midfield and that. And then it gets up to the final third. And even there's times where other players are making great runs. And that final ball, that final bit of quality to put it on the plate is just missing. And Pulisic can't do it all on his own either.
It's probably because we aren't playing an Aronson or a Gio Reyna.
I'm surprised Aronson doesn't start for you. I really like that kid.
Yeah, I think he's such a baller. The Medford Messi, Dave. The Medford Messi.
He embodies what this team is all about as well. Works hard, very energetic, wants the ball. If he doesn't have the ball, he wants to go and get it. I like him.
Here we are, though, bit of space. Serginho Dest, but it's really only Gakpo and Depay that are back. Like, they really do just put every man behind the ball here, and it's very, very
What
tough.
Is that? Shit by Dest.
Well recovered by Weston. Timothy Weah. Maybe Serginho Dest. I just realized he is playing against a bit of his. He has a lot of Dutch in him, and I think he was born in the Netherlands too. Actually, Serginho Dest. I think he's lived most of his life. I think in the Netherlands. I think he speaks Dutch.
Oh yeah, sure. He came through the Ajax academy, didn't he?
So maybe he's feeling the nerves against this Dutch side.
Maybe. Argentina, Australia later, Jack. I think they'll be an upset.
I doubted the the Australians, Dave. I really did. I did think they would be one of the worst teams this tournament because it was one of the worst Australian teams I thought in some time, like going into a World Cup. I've seen much better Australian teams with much higher pedigree players before, but it was the Aussie spirit, I guess, Dave, that I just didn't really account for. Maybe you could say that sort of camaraderie, that unity, that solidarity, the willingness to work for one another. There's no big heads or big egos in the squad or anything like that. And I didn't account for any of that. And so, I mean, they rightfully so, it just embarrassed me really with my result. I ate a bit of humble pie when it came to the Aussies. I thought they genuinely would be one of the worst teams in the tournament.
Most people did though, Jacko. I mean, everybody did. Even me. I just looked at him and I struggled to see where any sort of quality is going to come from. I'm surprised they got out. I really am. I think tonight's going to be a step too far, though. I do think Argentina probably put 4 or 5 by them tonight.
Welsh gal loving the sirs. That was a good sir. I thought it felt good to open up the lungs a bit there of that Welsh gal. But no, I mean we had the chance to get 2 itches through the World Cup. Serbia were a big disappointment. I think they were let down by coaching, if I'm going to be honest, Welsh gal, because they have a really good set of players there. Stojkovic, very, very good player in his day, but did not seem to be, let's say, tactically. Oh, good pass here by Anthony. Not a great touch from Jesus. Well, one back by Anthony. Get there, son. But it was disappointing not to see both itches, both teams of itches go through. And I think Serbia had a good enough team to go through. I think they were very
Mhm.
much let down by poor coaching in my eyes.
They tried yesterday. They gave it all yesterday. They just, yeah, I agree with you, Jack. Maybe a bit of a coach who probably favored it a bit more, wanted it a bit more. They would have done a lot better.
Odd though,
Would have done
because
a
I
lot
heard
better.
Stojkovic was like a very like skillful player like back in his day as well, like one of the
Mm,
best Yugoslavian players,
it was
accordingly.
unbelievable. Wobble says thoughts on Canada's performance in this World Cup and their future. First of all, I want to say their manager has an amazing bit of history behind him. Actually, that wasn't he the guy that managed the women's national team or something like that, and he done such an excellent job, and he ended up giving them the men's national team, and he's doing another good job with that, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah, he
Um,
basically I think he took the Canada women's team and put them so much further ahead than they probably expected to be
mm,
at a certain stage. Basically, I don't know if I'm not mistaken, like took their program, maybe so to speak, like 5 years in the future than it could have been right at the
yeah,
time. It was very like he just and was also very successful with not a lot to work with. Whereas
yeah,
also he has the neighbor of the US women's team, which is like, I mean, compared to the US men's team, like, I mean, the US women's team is like the Real Madrid of
yeah,
women's international football. I mean, they take it so seriously, and it's just so yeah, it's very very high pedigree for that. And so to have Canada as your neighbor, I think, or Canada to be the neighbor to that sort of country is
mm.
not easy. I think either.
I think I think he's done a good job with Canada so far. I'll be honest, right? I get the hype around them. I think they represent themselves well this competition. There's a lot of holes in their squad, though, if I'm being brutally honest. To ever see them really compete at a World Cup or that, there's a lot of holes in their squad. I don't think they're blessed with players to come off the bench either, if I'm being brutally honest. Um, and surprisingly enough, it was some of the older guard I thought let them down. Someone like Junior Highlight, who's been around the game, played around in England for so long. I mean,
Mm,
every time that guy touched the ball, he fucking gave it away.
no. I
I'm just
thought they
not
were
sure
better
how
than
far they
Belgium
can
though
take
this
it.
tournament. That's where I feel like it's disappointing. I thought Belgium were actually a horrible team this tournament, and I don't think they deserved to. I think they deserve the Canada deserved more than the Belgians. I think they were better than Belgium in their game. They didn't finish, which is Canada's problem. Like they just couldn't finish. Um, but they were much better than Belgium in that game, and even in their other games, I thought Belgium or Canada were just I don't know. They just had a better account for themselves. They just were more exciting. I thought they did a whole lot more than Belgium really did. And Belgium really only showed up in the second half of the last game. All the other games, they were dreadful. So,
For all this praise about Buchanan, I'll be honest with you, I actually wasn't really
yeah, he was
impressed with him
unimpressive.
whatsoever.
Yeah, he was unimpressive to me. Yeah, I agree. Christian Pulisic here, time and space. Come on, Christian. God, they're so well organized. This team right now. I think this Dutch defense.
Finding it hard to break them down, lad.
Very, very hard. And like you said, maybe missing that sort of guy to unlock it. Good thing that we do maybe have one off the bench. We have players off the bench that can do it. It's not like we're missing it in general.
That chance you missed earlier, who was a Pulisic, that could come back to rue that.
Yeah. And we do like to start fast. We're a bit like Leeds, even. We do kind of like
Mm.
to start fast against teams, and we have the opportunity to take advantage of it.
DB, big yourself up. He says, just dropping in for a moment. See you both still working hard.
You got
Lots of holes
DB.
in the Canada squad, but was great to see a team just go for it. Do you know what, man? First of all, hope you're keeping well. It's good to see you back in, brother. Look, we're only kind of getting back into things as well now, to be honest with you. We had a bit of a break, well needed. But yeah, look, with Canada, look, it was great to see them. Do you know what I will give Canada praise for? They could have very easily come to the World Cup and shut up shop, but they didn't.
Yeah, they
They
were
made
fun to
the
watch.
decision to go for it, to try and go for every game. And fair play to them. It was refreshing to see.
I thought they were very fun to watch. And like I said, I didn't think they were deserving of 0 points. I think they deserve more than 0 points. Really, like genuinely, they played well enough to deserve more than that. And so I felt bad for them in that regard. Really did.
Again, another team with a London-born player in there. Zimmerman.
Can you still
Because
hear me, Dave?
To
Can you hear
Des,
me?
back to Weah. They have a good breakaway here. Can they find somebody in the box? Look at the back post towards Robinson. It's well held up. Pulisic back on it. Give it to somebody. Oh, it's a poor layoff by Pulisic. Robinson retrieves it. Robinson squares up Dumfries. Oh, unlucky for that not to go out for a corner kick. Noppert has it. Newport, or whatever way you want to call him. Who else we got in the chat? Stevie Fraser. Big up, Stevie Fraser. Good to see you. Just popping my head in, missing you guys in daily Tottenham chat. Come on, you Spurs.
Big up, Stevie.
Stevie, Monday we'll be back doing absolutely everything full throttle. There's just a lot behind the scenes that I'm trying to learn at the minute, like editing and all that sort of stuff, trying to wrap my head around it and all that sort of shit. I'll be honest, it's a big headache because I'm not the most technical. But don't worry. As for Spurs content, fan shows, debate shows, everything, I'll be back next week, my man. Big yourself up, Stevie.
Big up, Stevie. Good man.
I'm missing everybody as well. It's so nice to see people just dropping back in and out sporadically waiting for Spurs to come. It's like Christmas. Spurs for Christmas. Dest. Shit delivery. Falls to Musa.
Oh!
What an effort.
Where?
Oh, poor. Just got to get a good delivery in there to keep the pressure on. Was that Weah? That wasn't Musa with the effort, was it? No, it was Weah with the effort. Dest. I done well there. So he's actually had a pretty good game, Dest.
I think he's, like I said, Dave, I think he's actually quite good going forward. That's a shocking pass. I think he's quite good going forward, Dave. I just don't. It's just defensively, I think he'd get bullied in the Premier League. I really do. He's a bit, yeah, he is. He's a bit of a Brian Hill, if you will. I think physically.
Just Weah caught that one well, didn't he?
Oh, it was. I thought it was. Yeah. Here, oh, good clearance here. Serginho.
Good switch of play.
Anthony Robinson. Yunus Musa.
Well done.
Good recovery.
Zimmerman. Weston McKennie's struggling to get into this game, Jacko.
It's more that I feel like we're just lacking any sort of midfielder that's maybe setting the tempo, being able to, pick up passes together. Nice, done by Serginho, playing through. What a run!
That was a good play. Done well. Little step over there. I love that. Little step over. Fools people.
It looked, it's brilliant there.
Gakpo up against
Tim Ream backing himself. Gakpo, though,
getting
he
loses out.
showing him the weight room.
All in. Robinson. Well done.
Megged him on. Jeez,
Gakpo done very well there up against Ream.
Tim Ream backed himself to win the sprint.
Dest.
That was a sensational run from Dest. I feel like he just needed to slide way up through.
Yeah. McKennie on it. He wants it again. Gone into Musa. Back to McKennie. To Adams.
Poor pass. Tim Ream has
Why
not
is
had
Dest
the
playing
greatest
so
game.
far inside?
I don't think Tim Ream's had the best game despite having a good tournament.
Dumfries. 1 minute added on.
Good block.
He's got out for a throw in. The Dutch will look just to keep this down here until half time. I do think you have done well, though, Jack. I just think if you could just have a bit more quality in the final third, the Dutch are here for the taking. I haven't been impressed with them whatsoever. I think you've been the better team.
Yeah, they took it. Even Dumfries.
They just took their chance.
2-0!
Daily
they've
off
done it again against
position.
the run of play. They've done it again. They've punished us twice here.
It's what I
That is
said before the
harsh.
game, that the Dutch might just have that bit of quality. They've
That is
offered absolutely
harsh.
nothing. They've offered nothing to this game. They just have the quality in the final third.
I mean, they've executed the plan, is how I would put it, Dave. They seem to have executed the plan. They've went for a very defensive approach, take their moments, get it into Gakpo, get it into Pai to hold it up, to get a bit of a foothold in the game, and then they've had moments of this sort of chime where just two times with Dumfries here.
Oh,
Or
that's
other
put by
players,
Dest.
they've just had just this cutback. This cutback for them has just been this money
That's
sort of
poor by
goal
Dest,
for
Jack.
them,
He
and
was
it's in the
caught
same
standing.
spot. It's same spot again.
Dest was caught there. He was
He's not a
caught
great
badly. He was
defender.
caught ball watching.
He's not a great defender in my eyes. What a goal, honestly.
You've
The same
outplayed. You've
goal too, to a
outplayed
degree.
Holland
Kind
as
of
well.
a similar goal in the way that it was cut back. That's tough.
You've outplayed Holland as well. That's a tough one to take. If I was a USA fan, that'd be very tough to take. I mean, you've outplayed them. The difference is, though, Jack, is their final ball into the box is finding their man. Years isn't. Anytime you get around the box, it's scuff passing, scuff shooting. It's just not working. But look, you're still not out of the game. I still back you to have better fitness levels and have more about you in the second half. The only thing is, though, okay, I'd probably see the Dutch sitting back and probably picking you off for the third.
Yeah, I'm actually just texting my friend now, Dave, that I actually, basically, I just think he probably should owe me a bit of money just because I did give him a bit of insight on this game, and I did say that I said that gave him a Dumfries assist. I said as a high one. I think that's happened maybe twice or once today, and then I also did say that either Depay or Gakpo scoring for them, and I did say the Dutch have a good chance of winning this one. So maybe the only consolidation I can have is maybe a friend might take me out for a beer or something afterwards, Dave, for this one in our situation. But very, very disappointing. I feel like we just had better spells of possession. I feel like we were the more, let's say, progressive team, the more positive team, if you will, in the way that we were trying to play. The Dutch, I thought, just sat up in a very defensive, negative kind of shape, and then just took advantage of two brilliant forwards and holding it up for them. And they transitioned well. They game managed really well. I thought the Dutch too. Like it just felt like I said, they had sort of a plan, some sort of kind of a, let's say just some sort of plan in mind, set up by Louis Van Gaal. And I feel like they're executing it to a pretty, high degree. And it's not pretty. It's not, let's say, pleasing to watch, but it's been effective. And it's honestly punched us in the mouth twice now with that same sort of cutback, in the same way that they've taken advantage of kind of scoring against the run of play and using the brilliant forwards and kind of players that they have in general, just the quality they have. It's been tough, and I feel like we deserve more from this, but at the same time, this is sort of what happens when you reach this stage. Like you can't kind of ignore the fact that teams do beat you in this sort of way. It's never going to
The
be.
difference is the final third at this stage, isn't it, Jack?
It is the final third, but it's never going to be always when you reach the knockout rounds, Dave. It's not like teams beat you, convincingly in every manner. Like they might just beat you with kind of two punches in the mouth against the run of play, right? And it's just sort of how these sort of teams are just ruthless. Like that's what happens in the knockout rounds. We're going to face it in the Champions League too. I think teams just end up being ruthless.
When I look at your team, though, Jack, I think you've got a decent goalkeeper there in Matt Turner. I think you've got a very good back line. I think the back line is decent. I think your midfield is the best part of your team. I think when I look at the USA, when I look at how Southgate set up against them, how Van Gaal set up against them, they know they can't compete with USA's midfield. So that's why they set up the way they do. What you lack is an out-and-out goal scorer, someone who, is just wily, gets into them positions, a fox in the box. But also, I think you're missing someone out on the right. I'm not convinced with we out on the right either, if I'm being brutally honest. I think Pulisic is fine out on the left. I just think when it comes to final third, and this is where I've been a bit frustrated with USA, because I think tactically, I think energy-wise, pressing, everything else, I think they've been absolutely insane. It's just going forward. It's just that final ball. It's lacking. Like the crosses into the box have been of shit quality.
Yeah.
It's just that final third is just not there for the USA. And once you can get that together, you'll be a good force in international football, I feel, because at midfield, without work, can outrun everybody. And there's a lot to say for it. It's just that final third you're lacking. It's frustrating. It's
It is
frustrating. And look,
frustrating.
that's the difference at these knockout tournaments, Jack, is they're being able to find the back of the net. Like Holland have had what, 3 attacks, and 2 of them have ended up in the back of the net. But all 3 of them going forward have all ended up finding Holland players. Whereas USA, when they get to the Netherlands box, it's like they just have no ideas. They run out of ideas. They don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It was really it's difficult in a lot of ways because I think we've made a good account of ourselves. Again, that's sort of been the theme of this tournament. I don't think we've cowered. I don't think we've shown away or shied away. I don't think we've,
Mm,
let's say, been intimidated maybe by the teams that we've come up against. It feels like we do kind of puff our chests out and we do try to play our brand of football, our style, which I
mm,
think is a fun style to watch. It just feels like we are maybe now getting a bit how it's not even outclassed. It's just getting punished. It's just coming up against ruthless world class players to a degree up top that can just really punish you. Like that Depay
mm,
finish was brutal in the way that he did that as well. It was his first shot of the game. I think it was even the first shot of the game for the Dutch, almost in general. It kind of felt like, and just shows that a team like that, Dave, they don't really need to do a whole lot. They just know their game plan, they know their style. They've also been here before, as much as they haven't been here before in a long time. Actually, the Dutch, of course, they've missed a few
mm,
tournaments themselves. These sort of players, I think, have been in these high pressure, these high pressure, intense situations, maybe more so than some of the American players out there.
mm,
Wolves Finland with the super chat saying, now the Yanks are in trouble and need miracles. Second half
mm.
comeback. We have plenty of good sports movies, the Yanks, to motivate ourselves with it. We have, I think, a few hockey ones, a few football movies that Dave
Yeah,
likes too,
yeah.
that have motivated. Perhaps we can get a certain Martin Scorsese in there get a filmmaking crew in and get a motivational speech from Craig Berhalter, because that's what the Yanks need right now is some sort of Disney film crew to get them motivated. But in all seriousness, Wolves, it definitely is, I think, kind of 2 punches in the mouth. I'll continue to say that. Did feel a bit against the run of play from the Dutch, but I also have to realize that I think that's just how it is. In the knockout rounds, I think even Senegal could end up doing this against England, right? England could play really well,
Mm.
Dave, and you never know. 2 players for Senegal could end up just getting 2 great chances there. But um, Dave,
I wouldn't like
miracles.
to
I
talk
think the
it.
miracle would have to come through a certain Brendan Aronson or a certain Gio Reyna. I think that's where the miracles are going to
Mm.
need to come through. What do you think? And there's going to need to be changes made, and it's going to probably going to require bringing on one more creative player of some type, maybe taking off a Timmy Weah or something like that.
I'd
Uh,
take off that guy playing up front. He hasn't touched the ball.
yeah, Jesus Ferreira, yeah, or
He's
Jesus
been
Ferreira, yeah,
useless.
yeah. So perhaps put on an Aronson and just get in a more creative player and just go for something like that. He
What
could
I
be the
would do,
miracle.
Jack, is I'd put Wee up front and I'd put Aronson out on the right. I'd use Wee as pace. Just tell him, look, just constantly make runs in behind, get that back line turning, and that'll provide a bit more space for Pulisic or Aronson then to be able to cut in if they're on the ball, whatever. Look, this isn't gone yet. This game isn't over yet. What we've seen at the World Cup so far, the second halves are usually a lot more entertaining than the first halves. And look, USA have it's not like it's a group game and they're looking to keep the score down. They have absolutely nothing else to do but go for it. So I think you will see. I think you see USA go out in the second half. If USA can nick an early goal, this game isn't over. But I wouldn't write it off. Korea done.
Yeah,
Korea done.
take a page out of the Koreans and the
Yeah,
Japanese book here. Yeah.
Japanese done one. Saudi Arabia bet Argentina 2 goals in the second half. I would not write this off yet. There's definitely goals in this. I just think I just needs to be a bit more composure in that final third. I think
Mm,
if you do get away back into this game, I actually think it'll probably be from an effort, a long range effort. After that, then your cells will be up, and then hopefully that you can create chances. Just if I was the manager, I'd just be screaming. I wouldn't be screaming at them. I'd be saying, "Look, boys, I know it's 2-0, but we're in this game. We just need to calm down in that final third.
yeah.
Just calm it down a little." But also, you need more players gambling in the final third, Jack. You need more players gambling in that box, getting into the area, getting onto the end of things.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you there,
Big
Dave.
up
I'm with you
Wolves.
there. Big up Wolves, and really appreciate it, my man. And we're gonna need somebody in there doing some sort of
Big
halftime
up
speech,
Terry
some
Wright
sort of
as well.
miracle speech. It can't be Alexi Lalas doing it. It's just gonna be too cringy if he's doing it. Big up. That's probably why you're here, just avoiding the Alexi Lalas rants at the moment in time. The Dutch midfield is a bit dull right now, says Stevie Frazier. Maybe Conte is taking notes. Big up, Stevie. Steve D.
AC, good to see you.
Also, Al C, I think, is right. And
I'll
with the
see.
fact that we're conceding the same goal twice there, Des fell asleep on the second goal. I think you're absolutely right on that, Al C. And let's be honest, he says the U.S. center backs have not been the strongest. And there's also, and then there's someone else who said that they have been a bit outclassed, the likes of Gakpo and Depay. They sort of have outclassed maybe
Mm.
Zimmerman and Tim Ream to a degree. And I don't know if I can disagree with that too much there. I think it has been a bit too much for them, Alcy. I completely agree with you there. Welsh Gal, it's going to need to be a Field of Dreams. It seems like the certain Godfather, Philip Brady, really loves that film, Field of Dreams. Maybe we could have him in here and have him give the halftime team talk. Big up, Stevie. Good to see you, Terry Wright. Steve D also saying 20 passes back to front. It was quality. What is he
That's
saying?
the Netherlands goal, I think.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. And also, Steve, I just feel like they've just been really ruthless with sort of the manner in which they've gone about it. Maybe it has to do with Van Hal, perhaps knowing this team very well. He is sort of a more experienced manager than Bearhalter, and he probably just had some patterns of play that really had been designed probably to unlock this USA midfield, because he knew maybe too that the midfield is kind of where our strength is. If you kind of bypass that midfield in effective ways, you kind of that's how you get at the USA. That's how you
Mm.
hurt them. And I think he's done that in a variety of ways, either through those wing backs of Dumfries or just through, I think, getting it into Gakpo and Depay so efficiently
Mm.
in the manner that they have. And De Jong and Darun, like, have they even had like that effective of a game? I'm not even sure. I think they've just sort of executed this kind of deep block role of being solid defensively, but also being very efficient at getting the ball forward into some of their players. And I agree with you. I think the Dutch have done this like effective. I'll continue to say that word. It's been effective, I think, with what they've
Mm.
gone for. They've executed the plan, and I think any coach would be happy with that. Even if the plan isn't pretty, as long as you're executing it properly, then you could see your team win here no matter what the game is. And I think it was brought up earlier even by Wolves Finland that no matter what, even if it's an even game, I agree. It's been a bit of an even game. We find ourselves 2-0 down because one team did execute kind of in that sort of manner, maybe more so than we have. And also perhaps Louis Van Gaal kind of had this team, has us a bit more figured out than maybe we have the Dutch. It seems like we are running out of
Mm.
ideas for in that first half against the Dutch. We'll see if we go with something different in the second, but it did feel like, I don't know, the Dutch found it easier to unlock us than we were. It felt like we were trying very hard to unlock them, but we just kind of ran out of ideas in the final third, in the final moments. Absolutely right, Stevie. Big up, my man. Adrian Chia, big up, lads. Just got home from work, working on the script. At least have a drink first, Adrian, because I think you've been working overtime these days. I think it should be some weeks off for you with how much you've been working on the scripts. Let me know, though, if you see any sort of major Yank comeback in the scripts. Just give me any hints, any sort of clues in the chat of any comebacks of any sort, for the Yanks. Do let me know, Adrian, and appreciate your support as always, brother. Big up, Adrian.
Big up, Adrian.
Any kind of revelations you've been kind of thinking about right now, Dave? I think it's Aronson that kind of needs to be the savior here. Perhaps a Gio Reyna too. That could
Gio
also
Reyna's
work.
got a good goal in him, Jacko. Gio Reyna's got that goal from outside the box. He's got a tremendous strike on him. Look, we and that other guy, Ferreira, or whatever you want to call him, Ferreira Rocher, for me, they're the two candidates to come off. I don't think they've offered really much, to be honest with you. I think Pulisic is trying his hardest down that side, but there's nothing really coming from the right unless it's this. There's nothing coming through the middle up front. For me, Aronson, Reyna, get them on and let's start creating. I mean, Reyna's got a wicked long shot on him. He can score goals. He can also play lovely, delicate balls in behind. Aronson is a workhorse. He can skin players and he scores goals in the Premier League. So
Hmm.
for me, that's what I'd be looking to do, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Stevie Frazier, next goal USA, and it's totally game on. It is only 2-0 down, and it is quite an easy scoreline and kind of a knockout fixture to find yourself sort of maybe thinking you're a bit comfortable when you're the Dutch, but also you have to realize it's a dangerous scoreline. It always can be, especially if we get that early goal, Stevie. And then feels like probably the momentum is all probably swaying towards the Americans because it's not really like they've been totally outplayed. The USA. So if they did get, let's say, an early goal in the first 15 minutes, something like
Mm.
that, let's be honest, I think a lot of momentum will be on our side. And will the Dutch continue to stay solid? Will they not crack? I don't know. They have a history of kind of cracking, I think, in those situations, kind of like the Germans, I think, do too. So it is up to us. It's still plenty in our hands. Absolutely right, Stevie. And it
Mm.
definitely is that first goal in the second half that's so important. And if we get it early, I think definitely we're going to have a lot of momentum on our side.
I think if you get it early, I think you can make the Dutch a bit nervous, to be honest with you. But the next goal in this game is crucial. It's got to go your way. If it doesn't go your way, it's over. Dutch will cruise to the finish line. It's got to go your way.
Ooh,
I would just like to see the USA go at it and give it a Bergwijn and Koopmeiners on
DVB
for the
coming
Dutch.
onto the pitch and Coop Miners coming
He's
onto
got to
the
be
pitch.
coming on for that idiot Klaassen. He has to be.
I think Coop Miners might have been put on for Klassen or something like that. I would imagine Coop Miners not a bad player. It's Gio Reyna on the pitch.
Let's go.
Come on, Gio. Yeah,
Ferreira,
Ferreira
he's
taking
done
off. You're
absolutely nothing.
absolutely. So maybe they're going to go with Christian up top or Timothy Weah maybe up top.
Yeah, it
They'll
looks
go
like
for.
Timothy Weah.
There we go.
Yeah, it
All
looks
right,
like
and we
Timothy
kicked
Weah.
off here, everybody.
Come on, let's get at it. Why doesn't
right.
Gio Reyna start for you, Jack?
I just think Bearhalter seems to not want to go with maybe that many creative players all at once or something
He's
like
got to
that.
be better than that Ferreira guy. That Ferreira guy didn't touch the ball.
Yeah, he just wasn't being a number 9 even. He wasn't that
He
was
wasn't
his
even
thing.
dropping into hold the upper end. He was useless.
Yeah, he was just anonymous. But that's the thing is that Ferreira, like I told you, we didn't get the chance to talk about him, Dave. But like I told you, I think he's a bit of a like he has a lot of talent, sort of, or he has a reputation that he could come to Europe and be a good talent. But when he's had opportunities with the USA team, he's been a bit dreadful.
I'm telling you now, playing like that, he ain't coming to Europe, Jack. Because
No, absolutely not.
look, yeah, yeah, he might be given a specific role, but sometimes as a striker, if you're not getting the ball in behind or
A
whatever
four
else, you
three
have to.
three with a really good midfield. I think it's not a
Mm,
lot of excuses, if you ask me.
sometimes you have to drop in to be able to just get a touch of the
Oh,
ball, play your way into the game. He failed to do absolutely anything. He may as well have been playing with 10 men. I
I swear.
forgot he was even playing.
I swear, Depay has not given it away once this game. Anytime they get it into him, they've been so composed, him and Gakpo. So composed.
Come on,
Big up,
USA.
Nick. Absolutely right, my man. Lots of members in the chat, just having a good time, and hopefully cheering on either side. But maybe with the Yanks 2-0 down, even if you are a bit partial towards the Dutch today, hopefully you're just hoping for a good game of football, and maybe hoping at least that the Yanks grab a goal here. Big up, Nick.
He's going with Reyna through the middle. Interesting. Big up, Nick. Hope you're keeping well, my man.
Good to see you, R Green. Missed you there, R Green. Good to see you, Joff, as well. Absolute
Come
legend.
on, R Green and Joffy and Terry Wright as well. Big yourselves up. Oh, the Dutch turn it on here. Dumfries to Stevie B. Thank God we got rid of him. He's fucking useless.
Absolutely right. Welsh gal. I feel like people just have to sort of forget about Stevie B. Like he didn't want to play for Spurs. He was complaining. He was a bad attitude apparently
Useless.
during training as well. Like during the end of the season, he wasn't a good guy to be around in the Spurs camp, is what we were told. He wasn't training very hard even. He just didn't want to be at Spurs anymore. He gave up at Spurs. Like let's be honest. Like that, if once a guy gives up at Spurs, there's no need to have sympathy. Depay here though, I think fine. Oh, a little too heavy.
I'll get on to Bergwijn now in a second.
Oh.
Do you know what it is, Jack? At Tottenham, we love to big up shit players. And like, even though, and do you know what it is? It's like, oh, but we've spent money on them. There has to be a reason why we've spent money on them. It's like, well, yeah, there's a reason why you spend money on everything. It doesn't mean it's good. You know, it doesn't mean you spent it well. It's like we always look for, oh, but what if we get him to do this? It's like, I've never seen him do that in his career. I've never seen anybody mention that this guy can do it. Why are we expecting him to do something that he can never do? Like, this is the problem at Tottenham. We spend money and we want to keep these players because, oh, there's a player in there, there's a player in there. It's like, well, I've watched him for 15 games on the trot and he's been shit. He hasn't put in one under Jose Mourinho. Like, people are like, oh, Bergwijn hasn't been given a chance. It's like, no, maybe under Conte because Conte smells a rat. But under Jose Mourinho, he had a run of 20 games out on the right wing, didn't produce one assist or one goal. And yet we're still going, oh, there's a player in there.
Oh, get in!
Oh, is that a penalty? Could that be a penalty? Did he take the player out after
he's not asking for it. Ooh.
Yeah, he may not be asking for it, but I wonder did the keeper take him out after he touched that ball? Because if he touched that ball and the keeper took him out, that's a fucking penalty. Let's have a look at it here.
Great ball. Oh.
No, keeper didn't
he hit him afterwards, yeah.
He done well, yeah.
Hit him
keeper done well there not to come out and clatter him because I would have.
They had so many men on the line there, actually, the Dutch. They had like 3 players on the line, actually. Unlucky for Tim Ream. Oh, wow. Depay, I swear to God.
He's turned it on today.
He is not, like I said, him and Gakpo, Dave, they just haven't given it away. Like, they just haven't lost the ball. I haven't seen them lose the ball.
Steve D, my arch nemesis, says it's nice to pop in for some giggles before the game starts again. Yeah, well, yeah. You know, someone already got me going.
Whoa! Depay again! He almost scored there.
That's a free out,
maybe. Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't know what happened.
My arch nemesis, Stevie D, huh? Big up, Steve. I love you, my man.
Oh, almost an own goal from Zimmerman.
Zimmerman. Jeez, Matt Turner didn't exactly cover himself in glory there, did he? He pushed it straight back across the 6-yard box.
Jeez, looking a little rattled here, boys.
If he's getting another chance, though, you have to take it. He's had 2 glorious chances. That one there was a decent chance, and then the other one early in the first half.
Oh, bad giveaway by Weston McKennie.
Oh, well done. Who was that? Tyler Adams.
Here he is. Weston again, though. Can he find the pass? Finds Timmy Weah.
It's over here. Give it back to Des straight away.
Oh, my Lord.
That
wow.
Fucking hell.
I'm a little speechless there. That's kind of like what, honestly, Sessegnon would do sometimes. Is like a right-footed shot from that situation. Like, what is he doing with a weak-footed?
Something Lucas Moura would do.
It's like a weak-footed screamer from 20 yards. What is he expecting to do there as well? Like, he didn't even hit it the way that you would want to hit it if you're going to go for that too, Dave. He went for like a slice too. Like, that's ridiculous.
He sliced the ball. Yeah, he was hitting it with the outside of his boot. It was always going to go away from goal. Always.
Like with his weak foot as well. That's absurd.
It's just the wrong option he took altogether. Like, as a fullback, just don't shoot from there on your bad foot. Just don't do it.
No one's asking you to. That's for sure. And you even asked for the ball to go to him there. He does out with it.
Yeah, because I thought he would have done something. I didn't think he was going to do that.
Oh, Weston. Oh, nicely done, Weston. Christian.
Someone run off him. Who was that? Gio Reyna just stopped there. He's got to run off him.
I feel like Weston McKennie has been good in certain moments, but he's also giving it away.
He's getting into the game in the second half and towards the end of the first half. Last part of the first half, he wasn't in it. I've been very... Musa's had a decent game for you today. Tyler Adams, I would say, was probably at fault for the first goal as well. He didn't track the play. Ream.
Oh, sketchy clearance there.
That'll do.
Anthony.
Well
done, Musa. That's ours.
Keep it in.
Oh, class from Yunus Musa. Oh, very class.
It's got to go out to the left here. Yes, Pulisic on it.
Get there or you're off the team. Christian to Weston.
Oh! You're off the team. I'm going to start saying that about Dyer.
Yeah, we got to start saying that to Spurs players. Get there or you're off the team.
Wolves F1 says 16 knockout games left. This included how many penalty shootouts we going to see in this World Cup, if any. I'm not sure, I'm not sure. I don't think you'll see a shootout probably until the quarterfinals.
I think it's really funny, Wolves Finland, that they were going to abandon the group format after this, and now I think they pulled back on it. So I've heard like they were going to change it, and now they're going to pull back on it, so to speak, or at least they're thinking about pulling back on it. They were going to change this whole group stage format, and it was
No, I don't think
absolutely
they changed.
insane. I don't even think there really was a bad group, like, to be honest. Like,
Don't get me wrong. Some of the group stage games can be boring, but
that's just how it is.
I
But
would.
but then the reason it is the way it is because when it ends up being the way this tournament has been, it's every group ends up being incredible. It really was. Like,
See, in the group stage, you're kind of given a chance or two, because even if you draw one and you haven't played well and you lose one, if you win your final game, there's a good chance you get out of the group.
there
You
is.
know, the
Yeah.
group stage gives you a couple of chances to kind of find your feet.
Oh wow, Gakpo just absolutely just tore us through there.
Stevie B's pass. See what I mean? He's just fucking useless.
Like, just compare Stevie B and Gakpo. You have it right in front of your eyes. That's all I said. That was my whole thing on the Irish
Ah,
Hotspur.
Jack, there's still a player in Stevie B. Leave him alone, man.
Eunice, he had a fabulous run earlier. Eunice,
Still a player there, Jacko. Doesn't play for us anymore. Still on there. Still hold out hope.
They do look a lot. They just have so much more quality in the final third. Steve D, so much more quality. Stevie B though here, Kenny. Oh,
Jesus.
here we are, Anthony Robinson. Come on, boys.
There's a goal in this for you.
Gio, nice little dink.
Oh, that's better. You've got to start testing them like that. You've got to start moving that back line. But like, just even if they don't work, try balls in behind. Keep them on their toes. Yeah. Keep them moving and guessing,
Tyler. Anthony Robinson.
That's better.
Oh, that's shocking pass, though. No need for that.
Van Dijk, he's just so strong, isn't he?
I mean, there's only one man winning that battle. Especially when he's tracking that run.
Yeah, if it was Ake, I would have backed McKennie. I don't like that purple kit.
This guy's really taking his ref. Taking his time? What do you think, ref?
All that just to pass it 4 yards. Jesus Christ. Football is dying.
Frankie.
Signed Stevie B back. He held up a ball.
Depay. Frankie.
He's been absolutely non-existent this game.
Frankie de Jong?
Yeah.
I'm starting to think he's slightly overrated.
He's a bit of a winksy, isn't he, when I look at him?
Nah, like, not that bad, but...
Like, he's a better passing range than Winks, but, he doesn't do enough. Like, with the ability he has, he doesn't do enough for me to affect games, He does like taking the simple option an awful lot of the time.
Just don't think he's made as much of an impact to Barcelona that deserves his sort of... how would you call it? His, I don't know, his reputation, if you will. Coop Miners. Ake. De Blint.
How did he squeeze that ball down the line?
He's had a good kind of renaissance, Daily Blint.
Yeah. It was a good pass down the line, though. Fucking, he was practically on the line when he played that. Musa. Looking to drive forward. That's it, kid. Well done.
Weston McKennie.
Good switch of play. Out to Robinson. Looking for options. Finds McKennie again.
Nice, McKennie. Christian. Get there, McKennie. Thank you, sir.
Should be a yellow as well.
Oh, jeez. Ref. He's getting trampled on.
Watchal says, anyone remember in the old days the Dutch team were having punch-ups in the dressing rooms? There's always problems in that in the Netherlands dressing room. Always. They're always at each other. I mean, even when what was it, Dennis Bergkamp and all were playing, they're always fighting each other. It's madness.
Wasn't Bergkamp? I thought Bergkamp was Danish.
No,
Was he
Bergkamp was
Dutch?
Dutch.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. Wow. I thought we were playing Senegal today, thinking Bergkamp was Danish. Really all over the place.
Steve D says you can be brilliant at chatting up the birds, but not get a dance. The Dutch are thinking hotel room and USA are still in the lobby. I'm telling you, if I was USA management team, I'd bring on Kim Kardashian, put her up against that back line, and watch them all just oogle her and completely take their eye off the game. That would be my tactic. Roll out Kim Kardashian.
Nice little pass here. Ooh, wasn't on. Oh, wow, sir!
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, he really wanted to take a lump out of him, ref.
He doesn't want to run after him. That's what it is, Jack.
He really took a piece with him. Jeez.
But that's what I would do. If I was up against a guy that just doesn't stop running, I'd just keep taking him out.
I don't know, King Hoddle. I spoke about it earlier. People wanted Zimmerman and alongside Tim Ream, and I wanted Carter Vickers. I just don't like two blonde man bun center backs there. I just think it's too confusing for everybody. It's just microbrewery vibes in Colorado, like I said, and it's just not what you want for a back line. So I said Carter Vickers, but people were saying, trust in Zimmerman, Jack, and I tried to, but yeah, they've definitely looked a bit weak. But Depay and Gakpo, let's be honest, King Hoddle have been sensational. They really have been.
I don't even think any of the goals were the centre back's fault today, though.
I don't think
I get
so
what
either.
you're saying. I do get what you're
saying. They've been shocking in possession. Gakpo again here. Nice pass into Stevie B.
You're lucky that was Robinson back there, by the way. And not Tim Ream. He would have skinned him.
Ooh, into Gakpo again here. He's gone for the left. Ooh, he's gone. Oh,
he should have went down there.
Oh!
Gakpo should have went down there. He probably would have drawn a penalty.
I think he wanted Stevie B to move his ass and so he could play him there. Look at where he gets it here. He wants Stevie B to run.
Yeah. Very central there, that shot by Stevie or by Memphis. Still not over yet. All it takes feet score one and you're back in it.
Nothing wrong with the microbreweries at all, Welsh Gal. Nothing wrong with that. But you can't have that as your defense. No center backs. You want those as your kit men, the microbreweries.
Claim that keeper.
Oh!
What is he? Oh, it's a free out. I was going to say, what is he?
How is that even a free? I was
going to say, Jesus, Jack. He's more rattled than he's just rattled. He's more rattled than a baby rattler. McKenny.
Weston. Anthony Robinson. No one there.
Go on, take Wee off the pitch and bring on Aronson. Wee has done absolutely fucking nothing.
It's a good point Wolves Finland mix up here. I'm just going to watch a bit of play first, but great. I should talk about that on Euro Talk even, actually. Wolves Finland. I love that topic. Oh, great pass from Depay into Dumfries. Sir!
No, it's not a penalty. He slowed down to hit him the shoulder and fell over. Muppet.
It couldn't even foul. I couldn't tell who fouled who, but definitely someone fouled somebody.
Do not put the ball out either. Continue playing on here. Skin him. You got the pace. Back yourself.
Lovely.
Come inside every time.
Why is
just got to go on the outside there and put it in across the box.
Oh, Depay. Uh-oh. Jeez. Felt like Dumfries. Felt like Dumfries and Anthony Robinson. Maybe Dumfries was the one who really clattered into him.
You've got to do better there. They have 4 players up the field. Dumfries is out of position. You got to use that and be smarter.
Eunice.
Zimmerman, Tareen, out to Robinson. Oh, that space. He wants to pass back inside. Fuck me. You're 2-0 down, kid. Jesus.
But Wolves Finland saying, has all that Ajax Champions League semifinal team that Spurs remember playing in 2019, barely any of them have lived up to the expectations since they've moved to those bigger clubs. De Ligt,
True.
Van de Beek, De
CH.
Jong, Ziyech. Like, I completely agree. And maybe a few more. Tagliafico was one of those too. Like, never really ended up going anywhere. Uh, there's Mazraoui, like I guess he waited a while and now is at Bayern, but he hasn't exactly even taken Bayern a light yet. But maybe that's being a bit harsh, considering he only just moved there. But you're absolutely right. I think Wolves Finland. It's interesting. It also just shows though that I think the Dutch league is a great league and it has great talent there. Like you can't ignore it at all. But it does show that I find it to be kind of one of the bigger step ups than people realize. The Dutch league. It is a huge difference, that league,
Yeah.
between Premier League, Serie A. Like it's not even just the Premier League. Like you see these Dutch players struggling in the Bundesliga, which you would think would be like a nice league for them to kind of make a step up towards, and they're still even struggling in the Bundesliga. A lot of them.
See,
So
outside of Ajax and then the odd time PSV, the rest of the Dutch league is absolutely shit. Don't get me wrong. There's been some great players to come from there, but very rare does a Dutch player leave the Dutch league and come to the Premier League and hit the ground running. I think the last one I can remember that's really done that was Ruud van Nistelrooy. I mean, like, look, we should know now how big a step up of the Dutch league to the Premier League really is, because when you look at the likes of Janssen, who else did we sign from the Dutch league? There's another player there, Bergwijn, for example. Janssen and Bergwijn, come with big reputations, just fail to replicate in the Premier League.
mm,
And they just, like, it's a complete different fitness level, complete different physicality level. You know what I mean? You don't have as much time as you do on the ball in the Dutch league. Um, it's a huge step up. And that's why I don't like signing straight from the Dutch league. I have no problem letting them go on somewhere else and then picking them up from there. Because if they go to another league and make it, then you know they're good enough. If they don't,
mm,
it's a huge risk. Buying straight from
yeah.
the Dutch league to the Premier League, a huge risk. It's too much of a step up in quality. Who's that? Where you going off? Right, and Aronson coming on. I'm just going to the toilet, Jack. I'll be back 1 sec.
Weston McKennie getting taken off here. Serginho Dest for a throw in. Can we create something here? Serginho hesitating. Gets absolutely stuffed by Daily Blind. Gakpo running here. Goes for a ball over the top. Doesn't get there to Steve B. Cleared away. Daily Blind. Yunus Musa. Nice little play. And is it Haji Wright that's come in? It looked like maybe it's Haji Wright. Oh, wow. Christian. Aronson definitely not doing very well there.
Was that right? Was that Aronson that came on, Jacko?
Aronson has come on. Gio Reyna is on. I think Haji Wright maybe has come on.
Yeah, Wright did come on. He's a big guy, isn't he, that Wright guy? Fucking huge. What is it over there in the USA, Jack, that you just produce naturally just big people?
300 million of us fuckers, dude.
You gotta produce more giants on this planet Earth than any other country.
Well, we're not the tallest nation because we have a huge diversity of people for that reason. But we do have a lot of tall people because there are so many of us. But I don't think we're by any means, like average tall or anything. I think we're only like average heights like 5'8", 5'9", or something like that.
He produced some specimens though. He's really do. There's the size of that guy, right? Remember Josie Altidore, Jack? He was another specimen. Useless, but a specimen. Whatever happened to the great Freddie Adu, Jack? He was supposed to have a huge career ahead of him. Wasn't he playing like under 18 World Cup at like 14 or something like that?
I think he just fell off the planet once he really made his move up, if I'm not mistaken. He just ended up really not living up to the hype.
14.
Corner for Netherlands. I feel like we've just, again, really just run out of ideas against this Netherlands team.
Yeah. Yeah, you have. That guy in the stands looked like Ribsy. Matt Turner telling them to keep their head in the game. It's gone out to Dest. He's fizzed out of the game an awful lot this half, hasn't he, Dest?
We go short to end up going long.
Oh,
Musa. Nice recovery from Tyler Adams. Well done. Poor touch from Serginho.
Don't do that, Dest.
He gets muscled by Gakpo. He just gets shown the weight room by Gakpo there.
But like, it's so brain dead. Like, you could see that coming.
Gakpo, fuck.
Oh no, that's shocking.
Oh, great save.
What a recovery.
No, that's why I don't like Serginho Dest, Dave, is because he just gets shown the weight room even more than Brian Hill does. I'm sorry. Like, he just got shown the weight room by Gakpo. Like, Gakpo just said, why are you giving me the ball here? He just shouldered him
after
off.
you got away with the first one, you're thinking, okay, he's not in control of the ball, just move it on. And then he tries the second one, you're like, what are you doing? He's gonna outmuscle you all day long. You can see it coming. Oh.
Sorry about that, Wolves Finland.
Use it while the Dutch players are up the field. That's more like he's off.
He's way off.
What was he thinking? How's he even been used there? About 20 yards offside.
Wolves Finland, Nick was just really offended by you making that insightful comment about the Ajax players. He's just a big Ajax fan, Wolves Finland. No, only kidding. Only kidding. Yeah, just slip of the fingers. Our fault, Wolves. Big up, my man. Appreciate the understanding.
Well, Wolves Finland, it definitely wasn't us, as you know, and you've been in plenty of chats, my man, that we only really kind of put someone in timeout if they come in to make a derogatory sort of gesture or whatever. I'll always give them a warning, and then second time I'll put them in timeout. So it was definitely a mistake, whatever happened there, my man. But big yourself up. We definitely would have done it to you. You're always in here, my man. Big yourself up. Nick owns up. He says, my apologies. They are.
I think Nick is just, like I said, Dave, he's a bit of an Ajax guy. He was just didn't maybe like such an honest comment. He didn't like such an honest comment about Ajax.
He must have went to reply and ended up blocking him. But don't worry, Wolves Finland, we're back.
Yunus Musa. Anthony Robinson.
If we need a left wing back or a left back, I'd definitely be looking at Robinson.
I look at Yunus Musa there. I mean, look at that shifty ball carrying right there, and just he's brilliant. I think he can play a lot of different positions too, Yunus.
S doesn't seem to want to get forward as much either. Since he's been caught out by that goal, he's not looking to get forward this half.
Oh, Gio.
Have
Find.
it. Oh,
Oh,
he got pushed when he was shooting there.
he's holding his head.
He got pushed when he was shooting. That could have been a free kick. Push in the back. Must have hit someone's knee or foot on the way down. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. He's holding his head in shame, Jack. Put pressure on him, right? Do you know what? I get baffled by that. When you're 2-0 down in a qualifying game and you have a striker standing off the centre back, letting him pick a pass, it's like you've got just go and press him. Like you're 2-0 down.
Serginho.
Blind has done a job on him this half.
Oh, good hold up from. Oh, his first mistake.
No, you idiot! You absolute idiot! Oh my god! Touch of an absolute donkey. 2 left feet on the guy. Oh my god!
First mistake Depay has made all game, and it was
Jesus Christ!
mistake.
If I touched my missus like that, I'd be sent home to my mother's. That's shocking.
Oh my lord!
Wow! Oh my god! Even she's going mad. Look at her in the stand. She's going mad at him.
Oh my lord! I mean, it's like, what is he doing there, Dave? It's like he thought it was. Oh my!
It was a gift.
What is that touch? It's like maybe take. Is it even the right decision to take it around the goalkeeper there? Oh, it's just shocking.
I don't think it was the right decision. He just overhit it. It's just an absolute shocker.
That's a shocker.
Like the first touch does not. The first touch was that heavy. He took the angle away to tap it in.
It's just a sitter. Such a sitter.
It was a gift. Honestly, it's Christmas time.
Yedlin threads in Christian.
Just have a shot. There's no point.
Oh!
It's a donkey!
What a donkey! Then he scores
took a donkey touch there and it still went in. 2-1. I told you
we're still in this. 15 minutes.
Come on.
How does he know? Wait, this man is the luckiest man alive. He could have a brace. He's the luckiest man alive.
Way on.
Oh, what is that? He is the luckiest man alive. He's had 2 glorious.
Oh, that's the worst goal I've ever seen.
Oh my lord. That's a yank of a finish if I've ever seen one, Dave. That is a yank finish.
Away from goal. I don't know how he does it, but he runs past the ball.
That's how I would finish it. That's how I would finish it, Dave, honestly. Falling on my own face, about to get a big, knee slide and everything. Like, oh,
you're missing a trick here, Jack. You should be playing football.
Yeah, really. If you can get that lucky finishing it, I mean, you might as well, give yourself a shot.
You're back in it now, though. You're back in it now.
After missing that sitter as well. That man is the luckiest man on the planet to do that. I've never seen anything luckier in my life. After missing a glorious sitter, he still looks like a donkey on his goal afterwards. It's amazing. Oh, come on, Christian, get there.
Play up.
Get there.
It's right in again.
Jeez. Oh. I can't even tell if that pass was even that bad. It just felt like, again, he's not even getting on his horse there.
Just didn't look like he was ready for that ball. Like he hesitated on the run as well. Like he should have just gone.
This Haji Wright guy is useless. Gakpo killing us.
Still can't get over his finish.
Oh, Stevie.
Even more of a donkey. That
Stevie B, honestly. This is the thing. This is all you have to do. Just watch Stevie B and then watch Gakpo and Depay. Like they're just better. They're just better than Stevie B. Like Gakpo and Depay, that's all they need for the rest of the tournament.
What's he even trying now? He doesn't even know where the goals is.
I can't even tell if that was a bad pass by Christian or if Haji Wright's just not even on this planet anymore.
I would go with Haji Wright, Jack.
Didn't even look like that heavy of a pass, if I'm going to be honest. Tyler Adams. Come on, boys. We can unlock them here. They've been opened up here.
Yeah.
Find it. Christian.
Find a lot more space since they made subs.
Christian.
Dribbles towards the keeper. It's better, though. 12 minutes.
Yeah, I
12
got
minutes.
12 minutes, still plenty of time here. Still plenty of time.
DB's in. He says they scored. Yes, come on, Jacko. Big up, DB. Big up, my man. King Huddle says Jammy score in history. King Huddle, you will appreciate that. And what a donkey finish. Honestly, if he tried that, he wouldn't be able to do that. It's
Gives me
just mad.
confidence. It gives us confidence, Dave, to maybe, lace up the boots again if you can get that lucky, really. Like, for you to miss a glorious sitter like that, and that's your whole job as a striker, is to finish gifts like that, is to finish those moments. And then to then get a chance later, still mess it up and score, like, it's it's just unbelievable luck. I've never seen a player get that lucky before. That is just
Oh,
with no skill at all, like, there's no skill involved in
he's
that.
not half Irish with the luck, Jack.
Here
Be
we
half
are.
Irish with luck like that.
Nah, yeah, he has to be.
Well,
Here he is. Find him, Gio.
he's
Beautiful.
been decent since he's come on, Gio.
Oh, what a touch from Anthony Robinson.
Gio's been good since he's come on, finding them little passes.
Yeah, definitely. God, we can get them here. We can get this equalizer.
Wolves Finland says accidents happen. I've been plenty of timeouts, different streams, but most ridiculous one with Big Six channel predicting Wolves win Arsenal day before game. Some of their Tim Pot mod timed me out. Yeah, look, I'd expect that over there, my man. To be honest with you, I'd expect it. But look, it never happened. Look, people know here the only time people get timed out is if they're just a real absolute dick. You know what I mean? Just being honest, like, over here we try to promote, look, disagree with each other, fine. No name calling and that. And the only way you'll get timed out is if you name call and then do it again after the first warning. And then you're
Yeah.
gone. Because I'm a firm believer of giving everybody a second chance. But Wolves Finland, I mean, you're not even on your first chance, my man. Don't even worry about it. Big up. I'm glad you came in and said it as well, because you could have easily just got the hump and walked off. I'm glad because we've established it was a mistake. So big up. And then Steve D says,
Oh, no!
Who's picking him up?
Dumfries.
Robinson not picking him up whatsoever.
Oh, my Lord.
Just so free.
That's just so easy. Even Emerson would finish that. Well, that's a question. But Dumfries, oh, wow. That's just easy. I mean, any right back finishes that. Any right back finishes that.
It's such hard work to get back in the game as well.
That's harsh. That's harsh. That's tough, King Huddle. That is a tough one. Bailey Blunt. Beautiful ball. Absolute gorgeous ball, but there's just no one in the back.
Robinson's picking up, but where's Tim Ream telling Robinson, I'll take this guy, you move out to Dumfries? They weren't even aware he was there.
Yeah, that's just shocking defending from both.
I've seen that at Spurs countless of times as well, where what happened to the old days where it's like, I'll take him, you push on. It's like nobody talks in football anymore. Like that, all that goal is simple, just talking an organization. Just simply talking. Ream checking over his shoulder like a good centre-half should do. Be aware of the danger. Push Robinson out. You take the man Robinson's marking. It's just simple. It's just simple.
That's.
I get so annoyed with defenders nowadays. Really do.
It does feel.
Like, you don't do the simple things anymore. Like, all that is for an experienced defender like Ream, just check for the danger coming in behind you. Just literally, just turn your head sideways just to have a look. And the reason why I blame him and not Robinson is because Robinson's actually picking up a man. Whereas if Tim Ream, the experienced guy that he's supposed to be, just looks after his shoulder, says, I'll take him, you push on one. It's all that's going to happen. It's just so bad.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I find myself getting annoyed. I'm not even from America. I just get annoyed with the defenders nowadays. It's just so bad. Simple defending, just simple communication. I get mistakes happen in football as well, but it can't happen when you're trying to get back into the game. That's where your adrenaline should be pumping most. That's where you should be like making sure all the boxes are ticked. You know? Just complete lack of leadership from Tim Ream there. Or maybe it was Zimmerman, King Hoddle says. Maybe it was Zimmerman. They look the same. It's just poor. Yeah, you're spot on, King Hoddle. Spot on. All it takes is just a bit of communication. Very Eric Dyer-esque that was. And then standing there pointing and blaming other people. It's like you're standing there and no man's not marking nobody. You know? You sure he's not Eric Dyer's long-lost cousin, Jack?
Eric Dyer wish he had that hair. You can't be a moonhead with that hair. Oh. Another break here. Xavi Simmons gives it away. Oh, well done by Aronson. Come on, Gio. Aronson. Medford Messi. Well done. Oh. Okay.
Them two look like they could form a good partnership, you know, Aronson and Reina for a few years. Just so annoyed with that defending.
Yeah, it's just let us down. It feels. I think 2 of the goals were bad defending. The first one, I think probably like maybe you said Tyler Adams could maybe have done better on the first, but the second one was definitely Serginho Dest, and then the third one is just Tim Ream or Zimmerman or whichever man bun it was.
Who's number 3, Jack?
Zimmerman.
Yeah, it was Zimmerman then.
Oh, well then I got that. I'm telling you, everybody, I asked for Carter Vickers today.
It's just so bad. It's just, and I wouldn't mind me standing there blaming the young lad Robinson. It's kind of like, if I'm Robinson, I'm like, well, you're supposed to be the commander here. You're supposed to be the leader, you know? Like a good centre half organizes the back line as well as defense. Oh, he's in. Van Dijk.
God, we'd kill to have the man bun of a center back like Van Dijk.
Just goes to show how important defenders are in football.
Big ing swinger. Oh, come on, Zimmerman. Wow.
I'd be cutting his man bone off in the dressing room after that. I really would be. If I was Robinson, I'd cut his man bone off. I'd say you're not allowed it. Like the only reason why you should have a good, nice hair is if you're on top level of the game. It really should be. Apart from that, you shouldn't be allowed to put that much effort and time into your hair and then put in shit mistake like that on the game. Yeah. You're putting that much time into your hair. You're not concentrating on the game. It's that simple.
Sorry, Jacob, my man. I think we've made a good account of ourselves, but the Dutch have just been brutal. They have been brutal and ruthless with the chances that they've had, and they've just punished us for it. It's just how it is at this level. And I think Gakpo and Depay have really outclassed us today, and just outclassed our defense in a lot of ways. Stevie B here. That's a shocking pass from Dumfries. Gakpo gets it back, though. Oh, Stevie B shoots it off his own player.
Oh, referee. That's a yellow. That's a counter. You've got to give him a card there. So annoyed at Zimmerman. He's ruined the last 20 minutes of the game for me. He's absolutely ruined.
I didn't want him today, Dave. I couldn't. Tim Ream is the better of the blonde man bun center backs, and I only asked for one of them. I didn't want 2 of them.
Oh, you just know when they're walking out with hair like that. They haven't concentrated on the game or thought about it. You just know they haven't. Like Eric Dyer, that's why he has the art of perception down to a T, Jack. He's like, I'll just go with the simple army buzz cut. You know, people think that I am focused on the game.
Gio.
I've been very impressed with Gio since he's come on, to be honest. Yeah, I like him. Nice. He's good manipulator of the ball.
You think about the goal that we scored here and the miss Haji Wright had too, and the miss that Christian Pulisic has had. We have missed chances, whereas
the Dutch, the one cleared off the line from the corner.
Yeah, the Dutch have just been more ruthless with their finishing.
Just more quality going forward. They're able to find their man going forward, whereas USA, well, I'll give it to you.
I think they've had the same amount of shots, though. I think each team has had the same amount of shots. So literally, Dave, each team has just been, one team has been more clinical than the other. That's for sure, too.
The way you move, like you can get the ball to the final third, like whereas years gone by when I've watched you, I mean, maybe you just struggle to get a foothold in the game, but every game I've watched in the World Cup, you've had a good foothold in it. It's just that final third, it's really, it's frustration. But look, you know, that will improve. That will improve. That will get better. What are you
Good to
laughing
see
at?
it. Nothing. Good to see you, Patty.
Is he calling you America's #1 Spurs fan?
No, I don't. I don't claim to be America's #1 Spurs fan.
Self-proclaimed, Jack. Someone's got to claim it.
I know what Patty means. Yeah, I know what you mean, Jacob. I know what you mean, man. We did the job, Jacob. You and I did the predictions, brother. We were there together. We were saying this is the warm up for 2026. Let's just get to the knockout rounds, prove everybody wrong, and we did the job, my man. We did the job. We did the job. We did the job, Patty. We did everything that I think the Yanks, we did it. I think we did what we asked ourselves to do, get to the knockout rounds, don't make a fool of ourselves. And I think we've done more than that. In fact, I think we've made a good, Stevie B here.
Don't let him score, please. Don't let that twerp score.
Stevie
Don't let him score.
God, he's
That's
useless.
I hate him.
Useless.
He's so crap.
I think Gakpo, if
he
anything.
needs a chance. Stevie B needs a chance. I mean, how many? 60?
Yeah, I'm proud. I'm proud of us, Jacob.
I would be proud, Jack. Like, you got out of a group where no one gave you hope, man. You know, I think you've put a bit of respect on your name in this.
I said it was a free hit too. It's a free hit, and that's what the price is of a free hit, right, Jacob? This is what happens.
Honestly, the only difference in this game is the quality in the final third. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, Jacob, you and I did those predictions together on your channel, and I think at least what you and I were looking for, I think they did it, and I think they did more than that. So I can only be happy that they achieved what I sort of wanted them to achieve, and I think we got to take that as in consolidation. I think it's hard to do that right now in this moment of time. Jacob, it does feel a big letdown, but like I said, I don't want to be. You can't be angry at these players. Like, you can't say it was a letdown, and then right now it does. But I can't. 24 hours later, I won't think this was a letdown in any way. They've made a good account of themselves, and we should be proud of them. That's what I also sometimes I don't like about my relationship, or even just the U.S. fan base in general. Sometimes, Jacob, is I think we do very well for ourselves. We do the job right. We did everything that sort of maybe was expected. And then we still might not say it was enough, or we still say, we should have beat them, like, whatever, like they need to do better than that. And that's where I think it gets a bit, harsh. That's where I think it gets a bit harsh. I think the boys have made a good account of themselves. I think you can be nothing but proud of them, and to sort of, I don't know, to attack them or criticize this sort of performance harshly, I think that'd be harsh. I think it'd be harsh to criticize this performance, because eventually they're just going to come up against a team that is going to outclass them in certain ways. I think they have. I think especially that forward line of the Dutch have just outclassed our defense, and there's not a lot we can do about that. But we've made good chances. It's not like we haven't created chances. It's not like we haven't tried to play our game. We haven't cowered away. We didn't play negative. We tried to play positive brand of football as well. And there's also that. And I'm happy about that we're also not playing like with 12 men behind the ball, sort of like situation too.
Look, if I was American, I'd actually be. Look, today is going to be disappointing. It doesn't look. It's the same with any football club, nation you support. When they lose, you get disappointed. But I think Jack's right. In the coming days after that, I think you should reflect on it. You said, look, and look, what I said to you is at least she's got there. Ireland haven't got there. It's been boring for me. It's crap not being there. And I think the fact that you're there, you should take immense pride in it. But as well, the fact that you, like Jack was saying, you've turned up, you haven't parked out with 12 men behind the ball. You tried to get on the ball every single game. You've tried to play the right way. I think there's a lot of admirable qualities from this USA team. I just think if you can sort out that central striker and something else out on the right, I think you should be just fine going forward. And a lot of your squad is young as well. And I think you've got to take that into account. You've got a very young team out there, maybe bar the back line. But, that'll only improve. That'll only get better with time. So I think you can definitely leave here with your head held high. I mean, it would have been worse if you came to the World Cup, sat 12 men behind the ball, and didn't get out of the groups.
Exactly like
I think you've
exactly right.
I think okay, yeah. I think you outplayed England. I think you've outplayed Wales. You outplayed Iran. I think you've actually. I think you've
Who
outplayed Netherlands today. They've just been more clinical going forward.
who have Poland? Ooh, good chance there. Who did Poland draw? I forgot.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, Yunus Musa. But a
I'd
good
be proud
example
of.
would be like Poland have played some of the most negative football I've
Yeah,
ever seen in my lifetime. And they made it to the knockout rounds. They got their reward for it, you could say, by playing that sort of way.
so is he.
But let's say they end up losing in the next round in the knockout rounds. I'd rather we have played this way the whole time, only to lose here, than have played maybe like Poland played and then lose in this game. Because then the whole time, like, is it really worth it? Because you still end up losing in like the knockout rounds, right, Dave? And that's where I sort of see it. Like, we have played an exciting brand of football. We've tried to sort of flex our muscles and kind of intimidate teams and create chances and take it to them. We haven't cowered away. We haven't been intimidated by other teams. And the Dutch have punished us for it. But at the same time, I'd rather go out this way than maybe, let's say, if Poland were to go out in their next game, considering how horrible I think they've gone about it, I would rather we go out this way, the way that we've been playing.
Yeah,
Yeah. France,
yeah.
good example too.
I just think you can leave it to
France are a worse example, or France are a better example considering the amount of good players they have to pick from. Lazy.
I don't think there should be any sort of backlash against this team and everything. Like, no one thought you'd be able to put it up against England. You did. No one gave you a chance out playing Wales. You completely dominated them. Done a job against Iran. No one gave you a chance of ever having a foothold in today's game. I think you've probably been the. I think I think you've given a great account of yourselves. I really do. I don't think anybody should be disappointed. I don't think the USA team should be ridiculed either. You've got to remember, you've got a lot of young guys out there, and it's not going to do them any good being ridiculed off the back of them either. I think you've got to get behind them. You think you've got to praise them for what they've done and just look forward to the next World Cup because they'll all be coming into their prime then, So you'd probably have a much better end product on the pitch. But yeah, look, I think you should be proud. I really do think you should be proud. I'm not just saying that. I think you should be.
Yeah, Americanka, I agree. Serbia were a huge letdown. I thought they broke my heart. And silly manager, completely agree. Americanka, good to see you were a fan of the Itches. Big up. Ted Lasso out. Says King Otto. Which one? Is it the Leeds one or this one? I think Berhalter. He needs to go. He does need to go. I think he hasn't put himself in complete shame or embarrassment, Berhalter, going in, but I think they should go for something different. And there it is, everybody. The Dutch have won it 3-1. And it's final whistle. Final thoughts for me. I think we were sort of kind of summarizing it as as the game was sort of ending there. But like I said, it's for me, it's not, I can't be hard. I can't be angry with this team. They've done everything I've asked of them. They've achieved what I thought would be a difficult task, getting through to the knockout rounds. They've picked up a tough opponent. They've played really exciting brand of football every game that they've gone about it. Yes, it's maybe lacked in certain areas, final third finishing, or even creativity in certain matters, but it's just been it's been fun to watch this team. I've been proud to be watching this team. And also, I think we've gotten a bit of respect, I hope, from the world and maybe the way that we played and gone about it. We just came up against the Dutch, and the Dutch just simply outclassed our defense and just really were ruthless, much more ruthless than we were with the chances they were given. And I think that's just kind of how it is. It was sort of predictable, maybe to a degree. We knew that was a possibility. I sort of saw this game as a free hit. And I think this is kind of the punishment of a free hit, is sometimes it ends up being a 3-1, kind of a game. But I don't know. Berhalter probably does need to go. Like I said, I don't know if he really embarrassed himself too much, but he probably does need to go if we were to progress further and go for something different next time around. But Dave, any kind of thoughts here? Christian Pulisic, Captain America, crying.
Yeah, you would, Jack. It's the World Cup. I mean, every young lad has dreams of representing his country at the World Cup, let alone captain.
He's done well for himself, though.
Look, like I said, if I was ye, I believe in positive. I think you've stacked up against some of Europe's best. And I think which a lot of people measure themselves against. Honestly, I think with that young squad, I think there's a lot to look forward to going in the future. Jack, I remember watching Ireland versus USA in Lansdowne Road in November when I was in primary school, freezing cold, and we were so much far ahead of you at the time in terms
Mm,
of set up, play, everything else. And the fact that we're sitting here in 2022, we can't even produce any players to get out on the pitch and put a
yeah,
decent product. And you've got a very decent product out on the pitch. I think when you measure up like that, I do think it shows how far you've come
definitely have.
in terms of the football world, on terms of the international stage. You're getting a lot more players across to Europe than what you have done at any other time before, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I would be proud if I was you. I really would be. I think you've held a good count of yourselves. Disappointing, I know. But look, you'll always come back stronger. But look, get behind what you have there at the minute is what I would say to you. Don't do what we've done in the past, where you've come back from international tournaments, pissed off, upset, even though you have no right to really kind of get as far as Ireland has got in the past. And it's kind of like I'd be proud and looking forward to the future if I was you. I think you've come an awful long way in terms of your setup and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'd love to bring some of you over here to Ireland games with me, just so you get a fair idea of actually how far you've come compared to someone like Ireland who has regressed, and
Yeah,
regressed.
that's a good example.
So I think you should be very, very proud of yourselves. You gave a great account of yourselves in the World Cup. I think you went out there to do it the right way. But I also think you put a lot of respect on your name in terms of football over the course of this World Cup. Because we're being brutally honest, Jack. Probably be ridiculed for saying this, but a lot of Americans sort of get laughed at in the football world. Or it has been like that for some time, and I think after this, I think it'll change slightly. I think you put a lot of respect on your
Yeah, I
on
think
your
so too.
name in terms of that way.
Yeah, I'll be honest. That's why I'm proud of them, Dave. I think they've only demanded respect. The Americans after this, I think they've earned the respect, and they now probably have the right to demand it. A lot of these players, and just like you said, probably the progression of American football in general, like has gone a long, long
Yeah,
way now. And
that's for
maybe
sure.
when you're in sort of the position where you're kind of watching regression, and we're watching progression with this team
Mm,
and this program in this country in general with the sport, it is kind of interesting when you put it in those sort of words. Like you're watching a national team and kind of a country regress when it comes to its footballing
completely
potential,
regressed, by the way.
completely progress in your words, yeah, in footballing potential. And then with the USA, just actually maybe being in the complete opposite scenario, right? Only being looking ahead, only seeing kind of bright future ahead. It is something that we have to be happy with. And we probably as Americans, Dave, will find ourselves, right? Like I always think maybe being maybe a bit too upset perhaps after this and whatnot. But when you put it in those sort of words, I think that you have to sort of be optimistic and you have to be excited for the future. Whereas yourself, like you brought up, there isn't exactly a whole lot to be excited about when it comes to your position, right, with your national team. And so I
Like
think
even when I
maybe
look at our
maybe
young
we could take a page out of that book or take that as a lesson to a degree or whatever the right word is for that.
Like even when I weigh up our youngsters, Jack, a lot of our youngsters are playing in lower leagues in England. A lot of your youngsters are playing in top leagues around Europe
Yeah,
in the main league, and it's
yeah,
just kind of like I said, I would be proud if I was you. You're doing something right over there in terms of setup, youth development, everything else. Just
yeah.
keep doing what you're doing going forward. You'll be fine.
Absolutely right. Well, everybody, I think we might leave it there. Plenty of content that we're going to start coming up with where you have a fan show Monday that everybody can show up for. Please, please do. If you do want to have your say, chat everything Spurs wise that maybe
I'm
has been
parroting
on your
shit.
mind during this big break. It's been a while since we've had the fan shows as well. So looking forward to seeing whoever can make it and seeing all your great faces again. Having nice little chats like we always do. I'm not sure what extra content's going to be out, but I hope we do come up with something. I would say, though, if you are looking for still a bit more World Cup content, I'm going to break down my original predictions that I did with Dave over on Flat Cap. I'm going to react to them and see how well I did. I think some of them absolute shockers, I must say. And even this USA team, I didn't even back to get through to the knockout round. So I really have, in a lot of ways, made some absolute howlers of predictions there. So let me know, everybody, if you want to show up for that one. Hit that like button on your way out, please, over here, especially if you have enjoyed this watch long for the Irish Hotspur. Please also as well, leave comments down below. Everybody that's also shown support today: Wolves F1, Wolves Finland, Adrian Chia, Nick as well, and I believe Dermot, Steve D too. Really appreciate it, really do, and thank you for all the support as well. But yeah, I think we'll
Yeah,
leave
big
it there, everybody, and we will be seeing you. Come on, you Spurs.
come on, you